But there's a lot of things that go into why Bruno. He is the guy.
Yeah.
He is the hats off to Bruno Mars. I mean, beyond his exceptional talent, he's just really smart.
Yeah. He's best artists are in there at all times. You
He's
know.
really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's out the way. He's not,
Yeah.
it's not a popularity thing for him. He's just like, I am great. And I'm going to share my greatness with the world.
It's like that.
It's just like that.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But there is a thing that happens with many artists where in the beginning, it's really easy to work with them because they trust your guidance.
Yes.
It's like, I have this theory when 'cause so many artists saw what we did with Lucky and so many artists have come to me to work with them. And my thing is always, I think I said it to you, if I am not the Phil Jackson to your Kobe or your Michael, let's not do this because I need that kind of trust.
Yes.
I need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to, it shouldn't feel like an uphill battle to get you to do things. My favorite work relationships are and I'm not saying I have all the answers. You know, I'm still learning and
No, of course.
growing every day. I feel like I'm just now tipping the scale of like, now I'm really, because, you know, a lot of people are like, now you've had so much success. I'm like, it's cool. I see so much more for myself. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I know that I'm good at what I do.
Hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Own that shit.
yeah, it's
man.
important.
Yeah, you're good at what you do.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think you're gonna touch on it, but I have kind of a similar theory. I feel like you got like 18 months to 2 years
Yep.
before the artist kind of starts to tune you out a little bit. And I call it the going away to college. Like you're not living with like you're tired of your parents. I'm gonna go.
Yes.
I got more answers than you do.
Yes.
And the good ones come back around and you figure it out. You have a real
Yep.
honest conversation
100%.
because the relationship with the manager and the
Yes.
artist is a very personal one.
Yes, it is.
And it will be falling out.
Yes.
But you got to come back around and
Yes.
figure out. And the best ones are, okay, what's the end goal?
Yes.
Because you're not going to have all the answers.
Yes.
And they won't have all the answers.
Correct.
But we got to figure this out.
Yes.
Together.
If we decide to. Yeah.
If you decide to.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are going to win.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I say it, I'm friends with a ton of managers. And I think it happens organically because not many people understand. As much as I share with my mom or my family or my friends, they don't really get it. They just can't believe. When things go sour between me and some of my past clients, my family is like mind blown because there are some managers, and I think the more I experience, the more I understand why managers create distance between them and their artists. I'm very much everybody's at my house on Sundays. I'm making dinner. You're staying on my couch.
You're still doing that?
Now I don't.
Okay, yeah.
Now I don't. And I feel like my client-manager relationships are a lot more healthy now because the boundaries are necessary.
I got to ask you a question to help me out.
Yes.
Because I'm actually in that place right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to put this in here.
Yeah.
But I think I will. My girlfriend asked me, she goes, about a client.
Yeah.
She said, do you even like this person? I said, I love them.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't even say goodbye when you leave his shows or anything. I'm like, no, that's my thing. I ghost.
Yeah.
And I also said, but I do want to create the distance.
Yes.
Because it was too close with other artists.
Yes.
And I feel sometimes the respect.
Oh my goodness.
Goes out the window.
Yes, it does. They don't value it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so now in my career, I'm like, the question is like, okay, well, how do you do that where they don't feel like they're neglected?
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes some artists will be like, well, you're not there for everything.
Yeah.
But like, no, but you don't understand what, like, I'm not communicating with you, but I'm communicating with the day-to-day, and I'm making sure that the plays are moving forward. I'm on the phones making sure that the fees are higher this year than they were last year.
That's where the trust is so, I don't like artists micromanaging me. I don't need to report every single thing that I'm doing for you every day.
Yeah.
That's actually a waste of my time.
It's counterproductive as well.
It's counterproductive.
Yeah.
I think ultimately artists want to see results.
Yeah.
And as long as they're getting, we come up with a plan, we come up with goals, and as long as those goals are being met, we don't need to really kick it like that. We don't.
I agree.
We don't.
Yeah,
And it's been better for me that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my artists today called me and he had called me yesterday and I didn't answer. And I posted something on my story about, I said I'm a leader, I'm not a manager, And he's like, I didn't know if something was going on with us. I've been trying to get in touch with you. And I'm like,
are you dissing?
when I tell you, exactly, when I tell you, you have no idea how many calls I've made on your behalf in the past couple. My conversation with you, I don't have anything to share with you right now. I am working these things on the back end to set these things in motion for you. I will, when I have something to report, I'll come back.
Sick.
We have a weekly call. I'll update you on that.
Yes.
But the accessibility, I think that's why a long part of my career was a very unhappy part of my career. And it's so, people don't know because from the outside looking in, it's like you're having all this success and it just looks, social media, everything looks like it's going great.
Amazing,
and I'm like, I'm so unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm running myself into the ground. I'm not taking care of myself because I am so hyper focused on making sure that my artist or my producer, everybody's needs are being met and neglecting my own.
Yes.
And it's caused, if I'm being honest, some resentment. Because if and when things don't work out, and there's been plenty of situations that I've helped build from the ground up that went on to become successful that I'm no longer a part of, and I don't get to reap the benefits of what I've invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone sent me something on Instagram the other day that said that self-sacrifice breeds contempt. And it's like, no, the reason I'm so in my feelings about this is because in that process, I wasn't taking care of myself.
Right.
And for what?
At the time, you're thinking financially.
Yes.
You also
long term,
but you also care about the person.
and I care.
Yeah.
I care. We can't care about them more than we care about ourselves.
Hard
Because
lesson to
artists
learn.
care about themselves first.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it
are selfish,
100%.
and you got to be in this space
100%.
to be incredible.
Yeah,
to a
I
certain
think it
extent.
needs to be a little bit more balanced out, though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we create
For
the
sure.
monsters. We create the monsters.
What a bar.
Yeah, it's like we have created a system that, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, working toward a common goal, but we put artists on such a pedestal where everyone else is kind of like their minion, their servant,
Yeah.
to keep them on. And it's like, when that's not even healthy for them to feel that way,
No, for sure. For sure.
because
And the public will do it as well too.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have success, all of a sudden you're great.
oh
you
yeah,
can't do any
you
wrong.
can't do anything
How
wrong.
can it help? You become baby to them in many
Yes.
ways.
Yeah.
And that can get to your head.
It's not, a lot of people don't survive fame. I think even the concept of fame is something that a lot of people think that they want, but it's a tough position to be in.
For sure. For sure.
And I think the smart ones keep real people around them to keep them grounded.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with the fame and success, artists start to push away the people who are honest with them because they just want to keep feeding the ego.
I don't think you can be super successful in this business if you push those people away.
I agree.
More times than not, when you change your team and your management, things kind of start to go
I
south.
see it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That's why I'm like, leave me if you want.
You try to get rid
Best of luck. See you on the other side.
Let me go to that point there where you're talking about when the artist, you're building something with them.
Yeah.
You're building a brand, and then artist decides one day they don't want to work with you anymore. You don't have, all you have is your commissions in your pipeline, whether it's 10, 15, 20%. It gets to a point where you're like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm building a business with an artist. No shade to who the artist that
Yep.
myself. I stepped away from the Jesse business because I just felt like structurally I wanted to go in a different direction, and I wanted to build something of my own with IP.
Yes.
You ended up doing this.
Yes.
You did this a year ago
Yeah.
with D,
Yes.
John, who we haven't talked a lot about John, but
Yeah.
I've seen Pensado's
Yeah.
place, and
Yeah. He's
dope guy.
excellent.
Sounds like
Yeah, he's amazing.
But you guys co-founded Good
Yes.
Company.
Yeah. Well, we had to change our name
Oh, you
because when
did?
we went to trademark it, it wasn't available. So we are now Vanta Music. We're going to do a press release soon. So we're Vanta,
Oh, okay.
Vanta
Is this
Music.
an exclusive? We're getting ready.
Yeah, you're getting an exclusive.
All right.
Yeah,
Shout out to
that
you.
is
Okay.
that is yeah. It's Vanta Music.
Vanta?
Yeah, Vanta.
What does that stand for?
Yeah, it's actually a color that is, if this makes any sense, it's blacker than black.
Okay.
So when you see it in an image, it almost looks like a hole in the image.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a hue of black, but it's like
Gotcha.
blacker than black.
So Vanta Music,
Yes.
you do the partnership with Walt Disney.
Yeah, Disney Music Group.
Disney Group. Yeah. And with Mio,
Yes.
he brought you into the building.
Yeah, shout out Mio.
Yes.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
He's dope.
Yes, he
Met
is.
him, one of the first people I met here in LA. And now you have a record label, so now you have real skin in the game.
Yes.
Two things about that. One, how important is that ownership and making sure that you have that, so you're, if you have success,
Yes.
generational wealth that
Yeah.
could possibly take place.
Yeah.
How important is that? And two, Walt Disney Group isn't necessarily the first thing that I think of, or many would think of when it comes to black music.
Correct.
Why them?
Yeah. So we started having conversations about having our own label. I mean, many producers have had label ventures.
Sure.
Truthfully, not many have been successful.
Yeah.
I don't know that creatives make the best executives a lot of times.
Yeah.
So just like mismanagement of money and just like infrastructurally, I think a lot of times it just doesn't work out. But that's what I'm here for. I'm like, D, we are walking into, when you look at Lucky or Victoria and some of the artists that he's worked with, like there's no one else is A&Ring these projects. Like we are delivering complete albums to these labels. So the traditional role of an A&R and bring in producers and writers to put together a record, like we don't need that service from a label. And then as a manager, when I realized how much of everyone else's job I was doing, I'm like, we might as well just have our own thing.
Yeah.
Because we're making pennies, when we really should, based on our contribution versus theirs, it just makes sense for us to have equity in the things that we're building.
Equity. Big.
Yes. So we started the conversation like 2 or 3 years ago. D was kind of like, D is a studio guy. He's like, I just want to make music.
He wasn't really thinking about doing it.
He wasn't thinking about that.
Okay.
When I first got with him, I'm like, D, we need to start a publishing business. We need to sign some producers to you. And because he had the experience that he had being signed to another producer, he's like, being the good guy that he is, he's like, I don't want to have people signed to me. Like, I'm cool to work with people, and he's brought a ton of producers in on projects that he's on.
Yeah.
But like the idea of like the ranking system where he's like the head honcho and the other, and I'm like, well, we don't have to do it the way the assholes did it. We can do fair deals and treat them well and create opportunities. You have all of this work coming to you that you don't even have the capacity to do, but let's find some people that we really believe in and sign them to you. I think it's a fair exchange. We're giving them these opportunities that are really your opportunities, and they're, being compensated. I think there's a fair way to do this. And he was, we're doing it now, but it took a long time for me to get him here.
To get around to
Yeah,
it.
because if it's up to D, honestly, he would work with Lucky and Vic and Bruno for the rest of his career and be totally happy, A few other artists, people that he genuinely enjoys working with. That's his happy place. The responsibility of
And I mean, he's like,
He's good at it.
He's good at
We
it.
don't need him to do anything
we
else.
like we didn't even talk about it, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, Song of the Year
Yes.
back to back.
Yeah.
One with her.
Yes.
The other one, Silk Sonic.
Yes.
Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Leave the Door Open.
Yeah.
And I Can't Breathe is that's Song of the Year prior, right?
Yeah.
And then you get an Oscar as
Oscar,
well in the
I
same
know.
year as Song of the Year
Yeah.
with her.
I'm not going to take credit because I'm not the one making the music, but I will say.
No, but fuck that. Listen, y'all are leaving my girl off of the power player list. And name me another person who has done that.
Dee wasn't working with her. I knew I was close to the camp because of what I did with Camper. Camper Volume 1, I will never forget when Camper sent me Focus. I was like, you and her have tapped into something really special here. And I'll never forget when Volume 1 dropped and she was a mystery. People were trying to figure out if it was her. And people are hitting me like, is this Gabby? And I'm like, we were sworn to secrecy. And I'm just like, just enjoy the music. And so when I wasn't working with Camper anymore and I was working with Dee, I hit Jeff. I'm like, Dee and her need to get in. And that's when they created the song that won the Oscar.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that is, I mean, halfway to an EGOT. It's, a lot of people don't get, when he won that Oscar, we went to dinner because the Oscar you actually get to take home
What's
with
that
you.
feeling like? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you do take
gosh,
that
we were so gassed. We're like, let's go to Mastro's and we invited everyone. Lucky, yeah, and we're like passing the Oscar around. Like, this is crazy. Same a couple days later, but yeah, you take your Oscar home. Your Grammy, you have to wait.
You gotta wait.
Yeah. They just give it to you for the stage.